What's going on, everybody? It is Tuesday, April 14th, and I found some pretty funny topics I want to go over. I got a bunch of stories I'm going to touch on, but I'm going to start here. So, Final Fantasy VII Remake just came out not that long ago. I'm enjoying the game. I'm actually coming up on the part of the game that this article talks about, so I'm not that far into it. I'm about halfway, I think about 12 hours into the game. And I knew that modern media was going to jump all over this when it came out. I knew they would. It was obvious that they would love this scene and they would jump all over it like it's some kind of new thing, even though it happened back in the 90s in the original game. It's not really anything new. But it's being championed as this is some kind of fluid thing. I'm, of course, talking about the scene in Final Fantasy VII where Cloud has to dress up like a lady so that he can complete a mission. It was all to get him into this guy's house because Tifa was captured. Well, not captured, but she was on a mission to go see the Don, and they wanted to get him in because no guys were allowed in, so they dragged him up. Now, this is being championed by a lot of outlets as he's now fluid and all this stuff, which is not the case at all. Is not the case at all. But they're going to run with that, though, because it fits their narrative. These people aren't actual real game journalists. They're not. And now this article is calling this Rise of the Femboys. They're the new video game hero. I mean, just listen to the opening for this. When he first appeared in 1997, Final Fantasy VII's Cloud Strife was a man ahead of his time. With the 2020 remake, the world has caught up, and he returns to the gaming scene very different to the one he debuted in. Gaming was defined by attitude in the 90s. Duke Nukem walked Earth freely. Badassery was the name of the game. And John Romero made us his B. In 2020, things are a little different. Where Cloud was once an outlier, now he's right at home. With several AAA games penciled in for later this year as being hit with delays, it's not inconceivable that Final Fantasy VII could be the last major release of the year. If that's the case, it looks like a straight fight between Persona 5 Royale and Final Fantasy VII Remake for Game of the Year, between Joker and Cloud. That means it's a battle of the femboys. So, one thing I want to point out real quick, this whole article is pretty much about how the writer has a hard-on for, guys that obviously look kind of girly, and it's fine if that's what you're into. And she claims that, the masculine-looking men are out. They're on their way out, which I would argue is not the case. Because if there's one thing that this almost fanfic that she wrote here skips over, is a lot of the characters that she's pointing out for her topic here, they're all from Japanese studios. Now, there's a lot of anime. A lot of the dudes are kind of, mixed in their looks. Little feminine qualities in them and here and there. That's nothing new when it comes to anime, stuff like that. It's been going on for years. It's just kind of how it is. People are okay with it. It is what it is. Now, when you go over to the West, there's more of a traditional looking masculine character. She pulls an Arthur here to use an example that uses a more traditional Western looking view of masculinity. So, I knew articles like this were going to come out. I haven't seen as many as I would have thought were going to come out because you knew, given today's NPC media, they were going to praise that Cloud scene. They were going to go nuts about it. They were even saying that he's, a fluid, non-binary character now, which is not true at all. But it's just them running with it. Now, that's not stated in this article. This is just Stacey Hanley here going on about how much she likes dudes in drag, I think, or something. That's basically what it is. So, no, femboys are not the new video game hero. I'm sorry. That's not what it is. You just have a string of games coming out of Japan that are high profile right now. And it's an excuse to write a weirdo article like this on a site that, for the most part, doesn't seem to have too much cringe at the face of it. But nonetheless, really weirdo article. And it's featured, by the way. Of course it is. So anyway, yeah, there's that. Next up, WWE is deemed an essential service, and it now returns to live televised shows. I don't know why it wasn't live before. I mean, you don't have a studio audience there. It was kind of weird that they weren't. So I guess they weren't allowed to do that, but Florida deemed them essential, so now they're allowed to do live. I don't know why they couldn't do live before. Really, I don't get what's the point, why they don't just do them. Like, what's the difference between doing them taped if you don't have a live audience there? But they're doing that. I just found it interesting that they're essential. I'm not going to spend too much time on here. It's like, are they really, dude? Okay. Next up, My Hero Academia. Now, this is the weirdest fandom, at least I've ever seen. Maybe it's just the fact that we have so much social networking now, so when weirdos pop up, they really get a lot of attention. But it seems like every day there's something weird going on in this fandom. So somebody's trying to go after the creator once again, saying that he's going to go visit him at his home. And it's like, come on. Like, what is going on with this fandom? It's got to be, I think, one of the worst fandoms I've ever seen. And I get there's exceptions. There's not everybody is like that, but it seems like something happens every day with the My Hero Academia family, or fandom, not family. Like the fandom, somebody comes up and gets mad because of some character's birthday, or they get mad because there's one scene that wasn't looking quite so good. They're just always pissing and moaning about something. And I find it kind of strange and hilarious at the same time. It's like, chill out. You're going to go to the creator's house because you don't like something. Grow up. If you don't like the show that much, don't watch it. Don't watch the show. You're going to go to the creator's house and beat him up? Come on, man. And I know this is just one person, but it's like every day somebody's angry with this damn show. One character's not fat enough. One character's chest size is too big, too small. The birth dates or the puns are bad. Like, come on. It's just getting ridiculous with this show. Every day there's something. It's the strangest fan base, I got to tell you. So next up, Ezra Miller, right? Still not charged with anything. Now, I really am kind of leaning that I think that this is just a big troll, and I think it's going to come out as a troll, and it's going to be a big gotcha. Because how would you not charge him for what he did? Unless he paid him off, I don't know. But I just thought this looked funny. It really looked like it was acting. He just doesn't seem very upset. And she's like walking up, flailing her arms all over the place. Like, it just doesn't seem legit. And I can play it through. It's not very long. Look how she walks up and then he throws her down. It doesn't look very forcefully when he did it. Doesn't look like he forced her. It looks like she's kind of like slowly moving and he kind of slowly put her down. It looks fake to me. And I think it's going to come out that it is. I could be wrong. This is just my opinion, but this is why I didn't buy into it too much when I first saw it. Now, I don't like Ezra Miller. I think he's a weirdo, and nothing would make me happier to see him replaced as the Flash. I can't stand the guy. I got to be honest. I can't stand him, and I don't like him, and I wish he would just go away and get out of comic book movies. I'm hoping that this makes that happen. I don't want to see his career end. I just want him to get out of the comic book genre because I like those movies and I don't like him. And he just needs to go away. He's a terrible Flash. Terrible Flash. He's not good at the role. He was the worst thing, one of the worst things in Justice League. Not the worst thing, but he's definitely up there. Next up, this Kyle Larson guy. Now, I saw this come out yesterday, and I was almost going to do a video on it, and I was like, what am I going to talk about for, 6 to 10 minutes with Kyle Larson here dropping N-bombs when he's doing a virtual race. I watched a clip. It's like a 16-second clip of him So one of the big things, there's no real sports, so they've been kind of promoting esports NASCAR racing. I saw it got like prime time event time. Like they were airing it like it was a normal NASCAR race. And he's talking in headsets with other people, and he drops the N-bomb, calling somebody on his team that. I think he was doing it jokingly, but it doesn't matter. He's pretty much done. The team fired him. It looks like it's an 8-figure mistake for Kyle. I don't think he should be canceled, but what do you say here? I don't think he should be fired. He apologized. Shouldn't that be enough? Does he have to be canceled for the rest of his life for making a mistake? What are you going to do? And then Daisy Ridley, suddenly self-aware that Disney Star Wars is trash. And there's not really much else to say. She was surprised after reading headlines for Rise of Skywalker. You knew the movie was bad. But I do like that she comes out and says, finally, and we're seeing this more and more, that she wasn't so sure about The Last Jedi. She thought it was a garbage movie. Well, she says, I had reservations about the script. So that's pretty much it. Bunch of stories I wanted to go over and talk about with you guys. A lot of stuff happens. Sometimes I just don't want to make full, I want to talk about some stuff, but I don't want to do videos separately on them. I like doing these kind of videos sometimes, so hopefully you guys like it. Let me know your thoughts on a lot of this stuff. What do you guys think about a lot of the topics I touched on? Leave your comments. Let me know. Also, throw a like up if you would. Share the video. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Make sure you're still subscribed. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment, make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new.